Hey, Canker Sore, what's up? I have a sore in my mouth. Finally, after 5 months of not having a sore in my mouth, finally there is one. And I'm not even mad because usually I get 5 to 6 or maybe even 7 sores in my mouth every year. But this year there seems to be a decrease in that number, so I'm not even mad that I have one now. It's just kind of my destiny now. Anyways, hey guys, what's up? It's a culture detective here investigating your favorite albums. And today I'm going to be doing an album review on the latest Meridian Brothers album, Cumbia Siglo XXI. And yeah, I have been restraining myself from reviewing this album because at first I wasn't all that interested in this album. I thought it was a really weird cumbia album, that's all. But the more I listen to it, the more I realize and appreciate how kooky and weird and eccentric and cartoony this album is. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it another shot. And now I'm really, really enjoying this album. Guess what? So, Meridian Brothers is a cumbia outfit from Bogota, Colombia, and this is not their first album or anything. They have been making albums for quite some time now. And on this album, dang, the tracks, man, it's goofy, it's weird, it's sometimes really creepy, sometimes freakish, very curious. We get these talking heads esque bleepy bloopy percussion, sequenced drum machines. These synths are very wavy and vibrating and oscillating, and the pianos are very contained and muted. The production is one of the strongest selling points in this album. And then we have the vocals, which are very cartoonish, goofy, tongue in cheek, sometimes very expressive. Sometimes all of these adjectives at the same time, so you can imagine how freakish this album can be. So, yeah, the album starts off with I don't speak Colombian Spanish, so leave me alone. Uh, Los Golpeadores de la Cumbia. And this is a not a bad album opener at all, even though melodically and vocally it's not a great opener or anything. I still really like the beats of this thing. It's very danceable, it's very upfront. The pulsating buzzy synths, the very curious keyboards really set up the tone for the rest of the album. The track Cumbia del Pichamán is actually a revision, a cumbia revision of Dusty Springfield's Preacher Man, and it's actually amazing. I mean, we get these very eccentric, festive cumbian instrumentals, and it just sounds very oddball. The vocals are fantastic on this track as well. Puya del Empresario is really, really weird. Even weirder than, I guess, the rest of the tracks on the album because the entire track contains these really repetitive, dry, harsh, crushing keyboards that are so compressed and dry and drab. I guess it's an aesthetic in a sense, but it's just kind of repetitive for a track, for an entire track, and there's just not much in terms of dynamic or change in this track. It just ends up sounding a little one-dimensional, but the rest of the album is pretty great. We have Cumbia de la Igualdad, which is the first track that actually clicked with me for some reason, even though there are tracks on the album that are more accessible, but this is the first track that really got me going, oh my god, what am I listening? Between the groovy bass, the constantly busy, bustling percussion, and the very demented but lazy and bellowing vocals with the refrains being repeated, Pura igualdad de la tierra, over and over and over again. In fact, Pura igualdad is constantly being repeated in this album in general, in other songs as well. We have Cumbia de la Fuente, which is one of my favorite tracks on the album, a highlight for sure. This track is more slow and nuanced, but still just as groovy. These sour ascending synths are fantastic. The cartoony, warpy, wavy keyboards, as well as the sour guitar leads, are amazing as well. The vocal performances are slightly more expressive on this track than on the rest of the record. And overall, sonically, very, very interesting and entertaining track. Cumbia de la Amistad is a strange military-esque track with a military-esque beat to it, with its clanging metallic tones. Again, this track is nuanced and a little bit more laid back. Yeah, the detuned guitars at the end. Oh boy, it sounds great. I love myself some detuned guitars, you know. Cumbia del Relicario is just okay. We get these very tight chamber, muted pianos on this track. I just thought it's a really cool aesthetic, but the rest of the track just feels kind of directionless, with the vocals and the keyboards repeating off of one another. It's a little redundant. But the next track, Cumbia Totalitaria, is another really interesting track. The synths on this track are very unsettling. We get a poppity hoppity percussion on this track, which turned into a dance beat. There is a call and response in the vocal melodies, and the detuned guitars showed up and returned once again at the very, very end. Cumbia de la Soledad is a track with a repetitive two-note guitar thing going on that just goes on for the rest of the track. Again, not much dynamic, and but the last track of the album is truly an underrated gem. I absolutely love this one. Cumbia de los Proletarios. Wow. This might actually be my favorite track off of the entire project. Just how consistently creepy this track is, and the fact that it's the album ending. It has to leave and finish off on a weird, creepy, scary, sour note. It's just kind of funny to me, and I actually kind of like it. Again, the pianos, it's all twangy pianos. I don't know how should I describe it. The percussion is loose, a little unhinged, you know. The keyboards are creepy, cartoony, wavy and vibraty. Bow, bow, bow. They have that quality to it, and yeah, it's just really weird. It almost sounds like I'm listening to a music box. I've never actually owned a music box before, but it's the kind of box, you know, you open it and a little figure pops up and plays a song or of some sorts. And this track is like an extension of that, the cumbia and the scary version of that. And it just sounds really weird and interesting, and it's fantastic. So yeah, overall, cool album. I love the eccentric and cartoonish, but also creepy and crazy instrumentals on this album. Vocals, pretty interesting as well. And definitely should check out more Latin American music. Yay. My favorite track here, either the last track or Cumbia de la Fuente, and my least favorite is Puya del Empresario. I'm giving Meridian Brothers Cumbia Siglo XXI a light to decent 8 out of 10. So, have you listened to the latest Meridian Brothers album from 1 to 10, which is rate it, like it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching. Subscribe seriously if you want to help this channel grow. Please, I am going to be reviewing Borat 1, the movie, tomorrow. And maybe I'll drop a couple of Minecraft videos, because why not? It's 2020. Come on. Leave me alone.